So yeah, lads, I don't even know what to really say about this. Like this one is just mad. It's just a mad old situation, and apparently there is a conspiracy. Apparently, we got to talk about the conspiracy. The conspiracy are surrounding Camila Cardoso. That the only reason why Camila Cardoso is, I'm pretty sure the only reason she's on the Sky, it seems, is to diminish Angel Reese. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to struggle to find the logic, but like, I'm not going to play any of the clips. I'm not going to show anything because I'm like, this is just a weird old situation. Because even when I was on stream, was it today? I lose track of days. It was today. And I literally had to ban someone because somebody literally just came into my chat and started spamming this. Started spamming, you're only hyping up Camila to diminish Angel. I'm like, man, I think Angel's really good. I think she's really good. And I just think the team would be better if, you know, they anchored their defense around the elite defensive player and kind of ran their offense, maybe not through Camila because she's not going to pass it, but run their offense to the elite finisher. I know. In a lot of these people's eyes, having a basketball opinion is crazy. Then the comments just start being, you're only angry because she beat Caitlin Clark in national championship game. Like, one, I couldn't care less. Two, I watched those national championship games. I'm not like I was an Iowa fan. Two, so did she. And three, the then response was, oh, you're just angry that she embarrassed Caitlin and got in her face. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And this is all coming from a statement that I said it is a good thing for the Sky that they are building their offense around one of the best finishers in the WNBA who has the potential to be the best offensive big, and not around a 40% shooter who is one of the best defenders in the WNBA, but because the offense was going through her last year, stopped playing defense. And that was the point that I made, and I think it's the point that I think most reasonable basketball people would make, and like that's how the Sky are going to be at their most effective. But no, there's now a conspiracy amongst the Angel fans, and I stand by this. I've always said this: the Caitlin crazies and the quote unquote Reese's pieces are two sides of the same coin. They're both crazy. They're both equally as crazy in different ways. It's the same. They're the exact same. Just like again, the crazies on one side were talking yesterday about how Natasha Howard saying she wants to be MVP is trying to diminish what Caitlin's going to do and she should be kicked off the team for that. Yeah, that's a crazy take to have. That is a crazy extremist take to have, but it's no different than, apparently now there's a conspiracy theory. They've turned on Tyler Marsh because they've said the conspiracy is they want to diminish Caitlin Clark by going through, by running everything through Camila. Not the fact that there was a near 20% difference in their field goal percentage post-Olympic break. No, that can't be it. That can't be it. And the reality is they have Courtney Vandersloot for one reason only. Because she's the perfect point guard to see if Angel and Camila will work. But like, everything is like, you're already hearing them come out there and saying that she should request a trade because they've said Camila is their number one option. But, let's be real. You can't say that, that it's any different than, last year, Caitlin Clark. People saying Caitlin Clark should request a trade if they're going to be running a Aaliyah ball. If they're going to be running with paint touches. Which I think it's a reasonable comparison to make. And I wasn't one who was out there saying that Caitlin Clark should have demanded a trade. However, I was someone that did say that if the Indiana Fever, if their choice was to play through Caitlin or through Aaliyah, and they chose Aaliyah, they should trade Caitlin, or trade vice versa. If they're running through Caitlin, trade Aaliyah. And I've always said it's one of the worst basketball takes I've ever made. But that was just purely a basketball standpoint, not some conspiracy about trying to put her down. Like, I think when it came to the conspiracies about the WNBA front-loading their schedule, and the media team has come out as much as to say that they tried to use the first 11 games to push other players because they didn't expect Caitlin Clark to be as good as she was. Like, the media had come in, not basically said that. I'm pretty sure, like, the media person in WNBA did say that. But, like, no coach is going to come in and lose games just because. Especially as a team that does not have their own draft pick, so tanking is irrelevant. They're not going to be tanking 2027. Like, Tyler Marsh is not taking his first coaching job to lose. We saw what happened to Teresa Weatherspoon. Teresa Weatherspoon did not get another head coach job. She kind of bet on the wrong horse on offense, and it just did not work out. The Sky were terrible. But it is still funny seeing all this stuff. Seeing all of this, like, I genuinely stand by the fact that, like, there are people, so many WNBA fans do not watch basketball. Do not watch basketball. And it's actually crazy seeing takes from people that literally, I can guarantee you, do not watch the sport be amplified. Like, genuinely. And the funniest part about this is, do you want to know, Tyler Marsh never said anything. Tyler Marsh never said anything, but the focus was by a journalist who said the focus was more on Camilla on offense, and she wrote an article about what Angel needs to work on. She got abuse. And like we saw it last year with Annie Constable, who basically, I'm not saying was ran out of the Chicago Sun time. I think she just got a better job. But like the Chicago Sky fans were doing whatever they could to run her out because she dared to, report on basketball. I'm not joking. She dared to report on basketball. She dared to say that I think they tried to run her out when she said Satu didn't want to join the Sky because she wanted to play in a better facility, like for a team that has an elite facility. And by the way, the same Annie Constable that reported that Satu didn't want to join the Fever, the same Annie Constable that reported that Satu was considering joining the Mercury and the Liberty, but the Sky fans went berserk because, she wasn't a Chicago Sky homer. And I don't even mean the Sky fans. That's the problem. And I stand by this where, like, I make the same mistake. Like, whatever about what I title a video. It's talking about Sky fans. Realistically, it's not Sky fans. It's Angel fans. And then when it comes to Fever fans, there's, like, regular Fever fans. There are Caitlin fans that became fans of the Fever. And then there's the Caitlin crazies. Like, there's everything in between. And when it comes to titles of videos, I probably am as bad as anyone lumping in a group together, which probably is a bit of hypocrisy on my part because I get annoyed when people do that to other fan groups. So I should stop that. Not only should I stop that, I should try to stop that. Like, as somebody who just kind of speaks into a camera, a lot of the stuff I'm recording is live. I'm definitely going to misspeak. I'm going to misspeak quite a lot, and especially in that type of way where when it comes to semantics. But when it comes to this type of stuff, genuinely hearing people cry conspiracy that the Chicago Sky were told to hire Tyler Marsh so that they could run through Camilla to make Caitlin Clark look better. Like, what is, like, do you know how crazy that sounds? Do you know how crazy that sounds? Like, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. And again, I'm not showing any of this stuff. You can find it. You can find it everywhere. Like, I'm not going to entertain obviously I'm entertaining the conversation right now, but you're not going to see me going in as any sort of a debate, because let's be real, the Chicago Sky have the potential to be a good team. But like, for these two to work together, and it's the funny thing is like, if you want to run your offense through Angel Reese, trade Camilla Cardoso. And I mean that. There is no scenario where Camilla Cardoso standing on the perimeter is going to be beneficial. There is no scenario that playing two of these players clogging up the paint, which we saw last year, is going to be beneficial. In 2025, there is no scenario where having two inside bigs constantly playing on the inside. Yes, there can be times where they can both be on the inside. There can be times where Camilla sometimes plays a couple of possessions on the perimeter and goes in high-lows, especially on mismatches. There is no scenario where these two work together without Angel coming out to the perimeter. And at this point in time, Angel Reese is not a good enough perimeter player to run the offense through her on the perimeter, especially when you've got Courtney Vandersloot and Ariel Atkins on your team. If you're going to run through Angel Reese on the inside, cool, trade Camilla. And that's the thing with this season. I do think there's going to be times they try to run the offense through Angel Reese on the inside, because this year is the litmus test. This year is the test on whether this combo can work. Because there is no better point guard. Last year, everything was complaining about the point guards not giving them the ball. There is no better point guard than Courtney Vandersloot for these two. And we will see this year. Look, I don't think it's going to work, but I'm open to it working. I'm 100% open to this combination working on the offensive end. Because defensively, it's fine. It's just, I just think they clog the paint. and it's going to cause their guards to look worse as well. But it's going to be a really interesting thing overall to see just in general, what ends up happening with these, and just what's going to happen throughout the season, because it's a funny one. Everyone complains about the Caitlin Clark fans, but the Fever did a proper job of the perfect surrounding pieces for Caitlin Clark, and you know what? It seems to be a much more beneficial, positive amongst that fan base. However, if Natasha Howard starts syncing it up and talking about MVP, I wouldn't be that surprised if sentiment flips amongst the crazies on that side of the coin either. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.